Many of us are realizing for the first time that even celebrities must deal with conservatorships. These legal guardianships have nearly complete power over the individual who has been declared incapable of caring for themselves or their finances. Here are 10 celebrities who have been placed under conservatorship both voluntarily and involuntarily. At number 1, Britney Spears. Apparently, when she shaved her head, it was a lot worse than most of us imagine. Spears' bodyguards began accepting money from paparazzi in order to get better photos of her. As a result, she became enraged. That's simply a shame that it didn't work out for her. These activities most likely are what resulted in the establishment of her conservatorship, which has been in effect since her breakdowns in 2007. It was placed in place to keep her safe, but it was heavily misused. Her father was the conservator, and he imposed harsh controls on every aspect of her life. At number 2, Amanda Bynes. Many of us grew up watching Amanda Bynes, and we all anticipated her to become the role model that Hilary Duff is today. However, things did not go as planned. It was discovered in 2014 that she suffers from bipolar disorder. Because of her drug and alcohol addiction, Bynes was unable to make wise decisions for herself and her future. In order to get her life back on track, her mother became her conservator for her. Her protests were first ignored, but Britney Spears' recent headlines drew attention to Bynes. At number 3, Lindsay Lohan. Lindsay Lohan, among others, seemed to have a very rough year in 2007. Her life took a turn for the worse that year when she was convicted twice of drunk driving, once of cocaine use, and even went to rehab 3 times. She also served 84 minutes in jail and 10 days of community service. Lindsay Lohan's father, Michael Lohan, watched Britney Spears' conservatorship and approached his lawyer to pursue the same of guardianship for his daughter. Lindsay's father has so far been unsuccessful in obtaining a conservatorship, but he will not give up. At number 4, Brian Wilson. The Beach Boys were all about being happy-go-lucky, but when they were all dealing with some very terrible issues behind the scenes. Murray, Brian, Carl, and Dennis's father had been terribly abusive to the boys when they were young, and abuse both verbal and physical was prevalent, and their stories began to emerge as the boys grew older. Brian eventually got away from his father. Wilson had a nervous breakdown in 1964 and had to quit from further concert traveling. He was diagnosed with bipolar schizophrenic illness the same year. Wilson's psychotherapist, Dr. Landy, took control of everything after the collapse. At number 5, Joni Mitchell. In contrast to some of the other stories on this list, Joni Mitchell's is a little more upbeat. Rolling Stone named her one of the best composers of all time, but she'd had a slew of physical challenges that have hindered her from producing as much as she once did. She was diagnosed with a skin disease that creates blisters all over the body in 2010. Things became even worse when Joni Mitchell fainted in her Bel Air home in 2015. It was discovered that she had a cerebral aneurysm. She only needed some time to recuperate, but she had required some assistance while she concentrated on recovering and regaining her abilities. Leslie Morris, a friend of Mitchell's, was appointed conservator by Superior Court Judge David Cunningham III. At number 6, Randy Meisner. Losing a spouse is one of life's most difficult experiences, and Randy Meisner experienced it firsthand. Lana Ray Meisner was murdered in her parents' house. According to CNN, a weapon was involuntarily discharged while being moved in a cupboard. Following the death, Meisner was placed under 24-hour monitoring by a court order due to a suicide threat. Randy Meisner, an Eagles member, then requested a conservatorship for himself. He remarked that he was in a lot of pain after his wife died, which was an understatement. At number 7, Casey Kasem. Everyone was surprised to learn that he was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease in 2007, but it wasn't made public until 2013 when his daughter Carrie Kasem revealed the news. A few months later, she revealed that she and Louis bodied dementia, rendering him incapable of caring for himself. As a result, he was placed under conservatorship. The judge decided to grant conservatorship to his present wife, Jean, but his children were not going to back down. Despite having power of attorney prior to the conservatorship, Kasem's daughter had been unable to see her father. At number 8, Mickey Rooney. When Rooney was given a temporary restraining order against his stepson, Christopher Aber, and Aber's wife, Christina, in 2011, their heinous behavior became public. Rooney has been the victim of elder abuse. They didn't appear to be sympathetic either. The couple were revealed during an interview by The Hollywood Reporter, who quoted Chris as laughing and saying she kicked him very hard beneath the table. That was only one of many things they did to Mickey Rooney, since he couldn't care for himself and needed assistance. This is exactly why Rooney's consul sought a conservatorship. At number 9, Mariah Carey. It's almost impossible to believe that Mariah Carey was on the verge of being placed under conservatorship years before Britney Spears. Mariah Carey has been vocal about her family's treatment of her throughout the years. They mistreated her, including verbal and physical violence that resulted in the police being called. In 2020, she published The Meaning of Mariah Carey, a memoir in which she revealed everything that she had gone through. Her mother attempted to place her in a serious detox and rehab facility, and Carey was taken there against her will. And last but not least, at number 10, Demi Lovato. In 2018, the 28-year-old overdosed. She had ingested opioids laced with fentanyl. This incident resulted in 3 strokes and a heart attack for Demi Lovato. Deanna Hart, her mother, mentioned a conservatorship because she didn't trust Demi with anything at that moment. She ultimately decided against it, but restricted access to people Demi knew in order to keep her in a safe mental state. Well guys, thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. Be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to 10 Focus, and ring that notification bell so that you never miss a video. Thanks for watching.